very chill, calm, cool, and collected in his demeanor. Doesn't ever tend to raise his voice. Just a great teacher and someone who has benefited from him over the years.
Georgia Amoore and Deja Lawrence, they're both 23 years old. 23 years old.
The and one, the experience, the veteran from the Aussie, Georgia Amoore. She'll go to the free throw line. As another look here on the tape.
Well, how the Gators play the pick and roll is going to be really important, and Georgia Amoore has seen it all this year, and she's done such a nice job there. She just denies the on ball, goes right to the basket. It's something Florida's going to have to adjust to throughout this game and try to make her uncomfortable.
Reigning SEC and National Player of the Week out of Ballarat, Australia. So a 10-2 advantage early on for Kentucky. Amoore right there, picking the pocket, dives to the floor, jump ball, and the possession arrow is going to stay.
They challenged everybody, said they didn't have the right energy, they didn't have focus. Do we need to just go home? So, they definitely rose to the occasion in the moment. She got their attention.
Great production from Reynolds, who's off the mark there.
Well, I like the pace, though, for Florida. I think you got to look to push and transition, even on a make or a miss.
We'll step aside here for a quick timeout as Georgia Amoore and the Wildcats come on the road, and they are balling to start this game. Chemistry for this Kentucky Wildcats team, and Georgia Amoore and Kenny Brooks ever so connected. And this has been going on for a while. And then Claire Strack said, I'm getting in on the action too. And what does it lead to in the opening couple of possessions?
Execution, and this all started where Georgia Amoore would meet with Kenny Brooks about 10 minutes left on the game clock just before tip. She'll meet with Kenny. She'll talk about, maybe some plays that'll really work against their opponent, ways that she can attack. Maybe she can set up somebody, and then Liz Kitley used to do it. Well, Liz Kitley goes off to the WNBA, and Clara Strack, Kenny doesn't tell her this, and she just jogs over and says, okay, I'm next. And he's like, hey, it's nice to see you. So kind of a little bit of a tradition between the two of them. Substitutions in here, a little bit of full court pressure, someone different guarding. Yeah, Georgia Amoore, and nice look for Clara Strack. Just unable to get it. Here's where Florida's got to push.
As Kenza Salgis, one of those new faces on the floor, along with Miara O'Neal, number 8 in orange on the other way. Clara Silver, 17 in blue for Kentucky, has it with the open look for three. It was ever so sweet when it left her fingertips. Clara Strack comes up with the rebound. And to that point, Steffi, the physicality, yes, is one thing as Amoore and one. Handling the physicality just well.
She said, yeah, it's okay in the league. We talked about, how's SEC play been so far. She think we're doing okay. I mean, this is someone who just loves the game. Talking to her head coach, they're on social media sending clips of different players, different moves. Back in Gainesville, where Georgia Amoore, who leads the nation assists, showing why she is so good at what she does, making good decisions, finding open teammates for threes, setting up everybody 1 through 5. But hey, don't forget, she can score too. I love the fact that she's a scoring point guard, but who has the IQ to know who needs the ball, get it to them, let somebody get involved. But when she needs to take over, she has the capability. I think these last 2 games, it's really clicked for her, and I think her teammates are really feeding off that confidence she brings.
In her very young career, as that one, again, the deflection and rejection. Amoore with the finish. Did you see it? She said, let me just hold it up there for you. Take a picture real quick. 8-0 run.
Hillary Finley certainly has a more defensive-minded group in here. Wow, the way that she's able to split that screen. We talked about how do you guard her in the pick and roll. I mean, you can trap, but if she splits it.
Georgia Amoore, who's just been putting on a clinic, 11 points, but let's look at these. Ooh. Split the defenders, pull up, Jay. Bottom.
I mean, that's studying film. That's knowing how, someone's going to guard you. And she just makes really good reads. I think that's what makes her really special from that point guard position of knowing when to facilitate, knowing when to attack and get your own shot.
And a timeout. But one more. You know what they're playing, Kendrick, in here? Mustard! yeah, you don't want to turn your TV off when she's on the floor. And give it right back as it's stolen away. We are asking you to do more, and she's answered the call. She dropped 12 points in that SEC opener against Alabama. And Warren with a trio of points tonight. Moore being guarded by McGill.
I mean, you can tell the frame, the athleticism, the skill, it's all there. She just needs reps. She needs time. And somebody who's got a lot of it, logged many minutes, is number 3 in blue. It's Georgia-Amoore. She leads the SEC in minutes played. They have one of the best players in the country, and she's playing as well as she has. Georgia-Amoore set the tone from the jump, whether it was finding her teammates, her scoring herself, getting in double figures. Splitting that on ball was insane in person. I mean, she has been a wonder to watch, and she just is so smooth, and I think she's made great decisions in the half court.
And then deflected, stolen away by Amoore. She's on the break and counted. Georgia-Amoore, the lone scorer on the floor or in this game tonight in double figures. The Wildcats turn it over. Look at those last 2 plays.
Well, Georgia-Amoore just has active hands and finishes for the easiest 2 of her life.
Are you seeing a different Florida team coming out of the locker room here in this 3rd quarter?
I feel an energy shift. You know, obviously things were addressed at the half, but just not getting enough stops. Well, it's kind of to go off what Kenny Brooks, when we had that conversation with him today, another 3 goes in for Kentucky, especially once it gets to February.
And continuing to try to cut into that lead as much as possible. And Deja Lawrence. And the Wildcats control it here. Nice little hesitation there by Amoore. And Kyle got a piece of Amoore's arm on her way up. And she's whistled for her 3rd personal foul.
It looked clean with her length, but I think she got her with the body, and that's, you know, Georgia-Amoore does such a nice job of drawing contact, going into the defender, forcing them to foul.
16 points, 71-55, and Georgia-Amoore kind enough to spend some time with us. An 18-point performance, doing a little bit of everything. But you all, it took control of this game from the jump. When you all are getting ready for an opening tip, getting ready to enter the court, how important is the conversation about starting quickly? Because you keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it was an emphasis against, Mississippi State and Vanderbilt in both games. We did a really good job at that. So today, my message to the girl right before the start was I want our identity to be people that come out hot from the jump. It's really hard to catch up. And teams like Florida, in the second half, they have good runs. They come back hot. So as much as we don't want those things to happen, and we probably should look down on defense a little more, whenever we, get that hot of a start and make that lead early, it kind of gives us a little cushion to prevent times like that happening.
Georgia, Nikki Fargas here. You have been playing such an exceptional role for this team as the floor general, as the leader. Can you just talk a little bit about how you've been able to focus and maintain that type of consistency?
I mean, it's been tough. I'm not going to lie, transferring in, and it's all whole new expectations. And, you have to get everyone acclimated. And I'm pretty much the only one that knows Coach Brooks to a T. I mean, Clara played last year, but limited. So, as much as I have to bring around the girls, I have to, still focus on myself. So I've had challenges, trying to balance it, but I think it hit the right time at conference play, and I'm just trying to do my best to still keep everyone involved and still be productive.
Georgia, you talk about transferring in. You're right, you haven't played with a lot of these players. But when we watch you, it looks like you guys have been playing together for years. So let me give you an opportunity to talk about your teammates. How have they come along and helped this connection?
They've grown so much. Like, I can go down the line, and, you want to talk about Tiani Key, a transfer who, I played against in the ACC, and I before this year, I couldn't tell you anything about her just because of her limited minutes. She's come in, she's a superstar. Deja Lawrence, an exceptional scorer at Charlotte. She comes in and she's just been so hot. the most surprising for me has been Amelia, right? She came from JUCO and she's come in and slid right in, and she's so consistent and reliable for us, rebounds and points wise. And, you know, Clara Strack is stepping into that superstar role as a sophomore. So I think that everyone's come in and they're hungry and they're working hard. And yeah, we've had our challenges, but who hasn't? You know, in this day and age and the nature of everyone transferring and new teams and all of that, you know, it's such a big emphasis to just lock in on the present moment, and just, you know, every single game is to try our best.
I love the transfer talk and the conversation, Georgia, because we all talk about this person transferred here and this person transferred here, and it's a totally different looking team.
Yeah,
How do you describe the personal challenges of that too? We don't ever hear about it from the athlete's perspective, but what is that transition like?
About to touch on. I mean, it's brand new girls, and, you know, I know Coach Brooks, but we have like 2 new staff members, so everyone, you know, for the first couple of weeks is like it's kind of just like stepping on stones, and I don't know where to insert myself. But I think the best thing for us is to just be yourself, and, you know, it doesn't matter where you are or who you're with or who you're playing with. Like, as long as you do you and be the best version of you, and, you know, place emphasis on the chemistry, like it goes a long way. Because I'm not gonna lie, it was tough, but, you know, it's gonna be tough for the next year and the next year and the next year, because there's gonna be heaps of new challenges and opportunities. So it was great to get, you know, kind of adjusted to how that change could possibly look for the future.
Well, Georgia, one last question for you here. I mean, you guys came into the SEC play averaging 91 points a game. Obviously, let's talk a little bit about the defensive side of the ball. You guys are very lengthy, long, and you got your defensive team seems to disrupt a lot of teams as well.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, we're long and we're lengthy. We're not going to necessarily be a team that gets out in the passing lanes and goes for silly steals. And, I mean, that's, for us on offense, that's when the fun happens, you know, when the defense break down. So we take pride in, you know, playing pack line and using our length. And we're a smart team. We have a great staff. You know, they scout every single play. I kid you not, our shoot-arounds go forever because we're just going over every play and every possible read. But, you know, when it comes into game time, you know, the girls are so quick with it because we've seen it before. We've seen it all throughout practice, and we've seen it shoot around that morning. So, you know, schematically, we know it. We see it coming from a couple of seconds away. And in the odd instance where we're off a little bit, you know, we're starting to grow on the rotation side of things. We're just helping assist her out a lot of the times.
She is the reigning SEC Player of the Week and the reigning Ann Myers-Drysdale National Player of the Week. Congratulations on all of that, Georgia, as well. We appreciate your time.
I appreciate you guys.